If you think you're starting to get the hang of Sentry Age of Ashes and are ready to take your game to the next level, then this video might be for you. Welcome back to another intermediate to advanced level guide to Sentry Age of Ashes. Last time we learned all about movement, so now I think it's time we talk about dealing damage in Sentry. Hello everyone, my name is Dusty, and in this guide we're going to cover Fireball and Flamebreath mechanics, tracking techniques and overall strategies that will let you pump out the damage and secure those eliminations. Firstly, I think we should talk about how the fireballs and flame breath work in this game. Each fireball deals 25 damage or 1 bar of health. You hold a maximum of 2 charges of fireballs, and you might not have noticed right away, but the second fireball takes 4 times longer to recharge than your first fireball, which only takes 1 second to recharge. Fireballs are interesting in that their speed is going to be dependent on your own speed at the time of firing. So if you're sitting still, you'll fire slow fireballs. If you're boosting, you'll fire fast fireballs. You might think that you only want to fire fast fireballs, but sometimes staggering their speeds can make dodging all the projectiles much more difficult. The fast fireballs are easy to dodge with simple turns, but reach their target faster. The slow fireballs require wider turns to escape the lock, but have the drawback of reaching their target slowly and easier to escape using cover. Sometimes, if an enemy is in the open, I like to fire a fast fireball and a slow fireball. That way if they do a tight turn to dodge the fast one, the slow one can often keep tracking them and secure a hit if they're low on stamina. Staggering fireball speeds can be especially useful when you have infinite fireballs, either as a marauder using Hunter's Mark, as a phantom using your rage, or when you're berserk. Now, Flame Breath is your most consistent damage and the most difficult form of damage to escape. Your full Flame Breath lasts for 6 seconds if held down and will apply a damage tick every second. Your DPS with Flame Breath seems to be approximately 20 damage per second. The Flame Breath also sets your enemies on fire for a very short duration, dealing a bit of extra lingering damage over time. It takes a full 6 seconds for your Flame Breath meter to fully recharge, the same rate it takes to fully deplete. One of the most important ways of dealing consistent damage is to weave Flame Breath between fireballs when possible to maximize DPS. A lot of players will try to escape your Flame Breath with lots of rapid turning and flying in circles. There are some movement techniques to help you keep track of these enemies. While holding the boost key, you can repeatedly tap the brake to perform quick spins that can allow you to keep tracking enemies that are boosting in circles. This technique comes with a drawback of being difficult to control and can leave you somewhat exposed, but it uses very little stamina compared to your opponents and is a great option for when you just need that little bit of extra damage to secure the elimination. Adjusting how much braking you do will adjust your turn speed so that you can match your opponent's flight speed as they go by. This technique is obviously applicable in more than just offensive situations as well. Another fantastic use of this is to perform quick 360 degree turns that your opponents will often mistake for 180 degree turns. When someone's hot on my heel, I will often perform a quick spin and then continue in the same direction as before. This will either put me behind the enemy that was chasing me, or alternatively, if they try to keep up with me, they'll often boost in the wrong direction, which allows me to escape and reset. This is a great tool for all Dragonairs to use during combat, both offensively and defensively, so make sure to practice it a bunch. One of the most important things to truly maximize your lethality in this game is to build your understanding of when and where to use each of the tools in your arsenal. This is something that you must get a feel for and isn't something that I can teach in full detail. However, I can hopefully point you in the right direction and give you some things to think about. As I covered in my movement guide, fireballs are easiest to dodge by turning into the direction of the incoming fireball. The opposite is true when attacking. If an opponent is moving away from you, then fireballs are much more effective than if they're moving towards you. Try to time it so that you're using your fireballs at these more optimal times and switching to Flame Breath when fireballs are unlikely to hit. Beyond this, try to be aware of your opponent's class. For example, Marauders have Gust, which is great at absorbing fireballs, but is ineffective against Flame Breath. Sometimes you can apply enough pressure with Flame Breath that it forces opponents to panic and use abilities at suboptimal times and allow you to capitalize later with high damage fireballs when they expose themselves again, knowing they don't have any cooldowns to combat that. To keep this video short and sweet, I'm going to leave it there. Only a small percentage of my viewers are subscribed, so just a general reminder to make sure you hit that sub button to keep up to date with the latest Sentry guides and other content. If you find this video helpful, if you have any questions, please leave a comment below or come find me on Twitch or in my Discord server, links in the description. That's all for now, I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you in the next one. Later!